Imagine having a newborn baby, but no hospital, no baby monitor, no diapers, no formula, and no doctor you could call when something went wrong. Now imagine living thousands of years ago, surrounded by freezing weather, wild animals, disease, hunger, and dangerous terrain. For modern parents, protecting a baby can already feel overwhelming, but for ancient humans, keeping a baby alive was one of the hardest challenges of survival. So how did they do it? How did humans protect their most vulnerable family members? Long before modern medicine existed, the answer reveals something fascinating about human evolution. Because ancient babies didn't survive alone. They survived because humans learned to protect them together. Human babies are surprisingly helpless compared with many other animals. A newborn can't walk, it can't find food, it can't escape predators, and it can't regulate its body temperature very well. That created a huge problem for ancient humans. A baby left alone in the cold could quickly become dangerously cold. A baby exposed to rain could become weak, and a baby unable to feed could become seriously ill. So parents had to keep babies extremely close. Mothers carried infants while moving through the environment, and other members of the group helped protect them. This constant contact wasn't just emotional, it was survival. Ancient humans didn't have modern strollers, but they had something much simpler: animal skins, plant fibers, and strong pieces of cloth-like material. Parents could wrap babies against their bodies using flexible materials. The baby stayed warm, protected from wind, and close enough to breastfeed. This also allowed mothers to move while carrying their children. They could gather food, travel, and perform daily tasks without leaving the baby behind. In a dangerous environment, being carried could literally mean the difference between safety and exposure. But perhaps the most important protection wasn't clothing, it was the group. Humans evolved in social communities. That meant childcare didn't always belong to one person. Older children could help watch babies. Grandparents and older adults could help protect them. Other adults could gather food while parents stayed close to infants. Hunters could return with meat, while others maintained the shelter and fire. This is sometimes described as cooperative childcare, and it may have been one of the reasons humans were able to raise such demanding, slow-developing babies. A baby didn't just have a mother and father, it had a community. Then there was the environment itself. Fire provided warmth during cold nights, shelters protected babies from wind and rain, and cooking made food safer and easier to digest. But feeding a baby wasn't always simple. For many months, breast milk provided the main source of nutrition. Later, parents gradually introduced soft foods. These could include carefully prepared meat, plants, roots, fruits, or other locally available foods. Every meal carried a risk. A poisonous plant, contaminated water, or spoiled food could make a child dangerously sick. So parents had to rely on knowledge passed down through generations. And then there were predators. Imagine sleeping with a baby, knowing that somewhere outside your shelter, a wolf pack might be moving through the darkness, or a large predator could be searching for food. Ancient humans couldn't simply lock their doors. Instead, they used fire, shelters, watch groups, and constant awareness. Someone might remain alert while others slept. The group could respond quickly to sounds outside. For a small baby, the tribe itself became a living security system. And here's the truly fascinating part. Human babies require years of care before becoming independent. That is extremely expensive in evolutionary terms, but humans developed something powerful enough to make it work. Cooperation. Parents weren't expected to do everything alone. Knowledge was shared, food was shared, protection was shared, and childcare was shared. This allowed children to survive long enough to learn the enormous amount of knowledge needed to become successful humans. How to hunt, which plants to eat, how to make tools, how to survive winter, how to communicate, how to cooperate. Every surviving child carried another generation of knowledge into the future. So, how did ancient humans protect their babies? Not with hospitals, not with technology, not with modern medicine. They used something much older: warmth, food, shelter, knowledge, and most importantly, each other. A newborn baby may have looked helpless, but behind that baby stood an entire community, and perhaps that's one of the greatest secrets of human evolution. We didn't survive because humans became stronger than nature. We survived because humans became better at protecting one another. Every child who survived carried humanity's story forward, generation after generation, until those ancient babies eventually became our ancestors. And that's why, when you look at a human baby today, you're looking at the result of thousands of generations of protection, cooperation, and survival. If you enjoyed this journey into humanity's past, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more incredible stories about human evolution and ancient history. Because the greatest stories in history are the ones that explain why we're still here.